GameChanger software has 5 different categories of assessment. Summative standard and summative benchmark for assessing how students are performing when you are completed study or lesson on a particular skill. Formative, which is the developmental measurement of a student's acquisition of a standard. And then pretest standard and pretest benchmark when trying to evaluate the amount of growth in a given term or school year for a particular set of students. Let's begin with scoring for standards. A school can have any number of different levels within their rubrics. On the screen in front of you would be a rubric for a school that has 7 levels, ranging from 1 to 7. These are preloaded into the software based on the discretion of the school or the professional learning team. There is a default within the GameChanger system to have 7 levels of a rubric. However, it's important to understand that within the system, it is essential to have just 4 different levels or 4 different mastery labels. Regardless of the number of benchmarks, the benchmarks are labeled within the descriptors of quality of intervention, sufficient, meets, and exceeds. Teachers can score an assessment for a whole standard by awarding the number of a benchmark level, for example 1 through 7 if using the college readiness standard, or whatever number the team decides upon that best defines the student's performance on an assessment. There should be a corresponding description of what level of performance matches that scoring number. Benchmark scoring. When there are performance levels with equivalent benchmarks, there is a scoring of a 1 through 4. For example, in the college readiness standards, using the skill of math at a 16 to 19 level, there is a mastery label of intervention sufficient, meets, and exceeds, or a numerical equivalent of 1 through 4. If the assessment is attached to a single benchmark and categorized as summative or formative, this is the method that you should use. The assessment measures a student's performance within just one benchmark, and it can be scored on the generic 4-point scale. This will work for formative benchmark or formative standard. Pretest standard and pretest benchmark follow the same terminology. So the pretest standard would follow whatever scoring limits or scoring rubric guide that the team has come up with, whereas benchmark would follow the performance benchmark of the set of standards that the team has used.